10 years ago, I packed up my entire life on the East Coast, said goodbye to everything familiar, and moved to Los Angeles with this very clear picture in my head of what I thought life here would be like. Sunshine, beach mornings, that effortless California lifestyle. And honestly, within a few weeks of living here, I realized I didn't understand LA at all. Not the neighborhoods, not the pace of the city, and definitely not the cost of living. And I had no idea how much your exact location can determine how happy you are living here. So if I were moving to Los Angeles today, knowing what I know now after living here for 10 years, there are a few things I would do very differently. And if you're even thinking about relocating to LA, this might save you from learning some of these lessons the hard way. For those of you who don't know me, I've lived in LA for 10 years now, and I help buyers, especially relocation clients, navigate this market strategically. But before I was a realtor here, I was you, new to the city, trying to figure it all out, trying to make the right decision. And here's what I've learned. Let's start with the biggest thing I misunderstood before moving here. From the outside, LA looks like one big place, but it's not. It's lifestyle pockets. Living in Santa Monica feels completely different than living in downtown LA. The Valley is different from the West Side. South Bay is different from West Hollywood. And I didn't understand how much that would impact my daily life here. Your commute determines your stress. Your neighborhood determines your social circle. Your proximity to work determines your time freedom. In LA, where you live is everything. If I were moving today, I would narrow down to 2, maybe 3 neighborhoods max, not 10. Clarify first, browsing second. And that leads to the second thing I underestimated. When you're relocating, you look at a map and think, oh, that's only 12 miles. In LA, 12 miles can mean 50 minutes. Time is the hidden currency here. If I could go back, I would prioritize lifestyle proximity over saving a few $100s in rent or price. Because in this city, distance equals massive burnout. And burnout changes how you feel about living here. The third thing I didn't fully think through is long-term strategy. When you move across the country, you're thinking survival and adjustment. But LA real estate rewards long-term vision. If I were moving here today, I would ask myself, am I renting for flexibility? Am I buying for 5 to 7 years minimum? Is my career stable? Do I see myself building equity here? Because buying in LA isn't just a lifestyle decision. It's a wealth building decision. And it needs to align with your bigger plan. Here's something else that surprised me. If you move here casually, LA can feel chaotic. Traffic, noise, competition, pace. But if you move here intentionally, well, then it becomes opportunity. There's ambition here, creativity, energy, lifestyle freedom. You can work hard and still walk to the ocean at sunset. But you have to design your life here on purpose. That's what I eventually learned. Now, let's talk about what I do differently, specifically if I were relocating today. So here's what I would do differently. I would visit and spend a few days in target neighborhoods, not just drive through. I would rent short term first if I felt unsure. I would work with someone who understands relocation emotionally, not just contracts. I would build a realistic total cost analysis before committing. I would choose based on how I want my Tuesdays to feel, not just resale value. Because happiness here is hyper-local. Moving across the country is not just a housing decision. It's identity. You're rebuilding routines, community, and familiarity. I remember that uncertainty. And I also remember the moment LA finally felt like home. That doesn't happen by accident, it happens by alignment. If you are seriously thinking about moving to Los Angeles, especially from out of the state, don't just browse Zillow and hope it works out. Have a strategy. If you want help mapping it out, which neighborhoods actually match your lifestyle, what your realistic budget looks like here, whether you should rent or buy first, and what makes sense long term. Message me in the comments with the word move. Tell me where you're moving from and what your timeline looks like. I'll personally respond and help you think through this strategically, because LA can either feel overwhelming or it can feel like the best decision of your life. It just depends on how you approach it. And if you're ready to approach it intentionally, I'm here to help. Download your free 2026 relocation guide, and if you want to have a chat, schedule a call with me using the link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.